Hey, Mike.
Yeah, what's going on?
Hey, have you heard of Virtual PBX?
No, what is that, like virtual peanut butter and jelly?
Virtual PBX provides affordable business phone plans for entrepreneurs that need a way to connect to their customers. Never give out a personal number again. They offer business telephone numbers, call forwarding, professional greetings, and so much more.
Isn't that the phone you have in your office?
That's correct. I have a Virtual PBX Yalink, the T21P E2, but it is the same phone that you will see on the NBC show The Office. So when you see Dwight and Jim slamming down the phone, I have that same exact phone.
Nice. Do you have a stapler and Jell-O?
It's the most important aspect of an office, making sure you have a good telephone.
Yeah, and I think you can save 15% off when you sign up, right?
That's correct. If you go to virtualpbx.com/podcast, again, that's /podcast, you can save up to 15% and you can enjoy their new Flex plans starting as low as $13 per month.
Well, that sounds awesome.
Yes. Are you looking to start a new business or have to have professional greetings, call forwarding, texting, voicemail, virtual receptionist? If you're looking for any of those items, don't go anyplace else but Virtual PBX.
That sounds cool. I kind of want a sandwich right now.
Mike wants a sandwich, and you deserve a better IP phone solution. Visit Virtual PBX. Visit them at virtualpbx.com/podcast.
Coming to you from the shores of the Pacific Northwest, keeping you up to date on technology while enjoying a little whiskey on the side, with leading-edge topics, along with special guests, to navigate technology in a segmented, stylized radio program. The information that will make you go, Pull up a seat, raise a glass with our hosts as we spend the next hour talking about technology for the common person. Welcome to TechTime Radio with Nathan Mumm.
What's going on?
Hey, how you doing, Mike?
Every day is a
beautiful day, right?
Beautiful day, yeah.
All right, welcome to Tech Time Radio with Nathan Mumm. We got Mike Roday here with David Brown behind the board and myself, and we are a 2-hour technology show that airs on Saturday from 4 to 6 p.m. It's for the everyday common person, so ideally anybody can listen to our show, and we are talking about subjects week ahead of the mainstream media. So stuff we're going to be talking about, you'll be hearing about hopefully in the next upcoming week. I'm Nathan Mumm, and if you are watching our show on Saturdays, then you are watching the live feed. But if you're not, please go to techtimeradio.com. Again, that's techtimeradio.com to make sure you stay up on all the latest information that's available to you. If you're watching a rebroadcast, there's always tons of information, and including our newsletter, which we're going to be really excited about. So we're going to have a monthly newsletter. I'll be writing some articles on technology. Mike will probably have a little psychology area in there. And then maybe we'll have baking on the side. How does that sound?
Baking?
No, I'm just joking. All right. Welcome to our 2-hour show.
Maybe some bacon?
So I can do bacon and hamburgers. I got that for lunch today.
Oh, yeah.
All right. On our first hour of the show, we have Facebook and Signal going at it online in ads. We have finger pointing by each of these organizations. We have drones delivering baby supplies. We have Jeff Bezos auctioning off a ticket to space as a part of a tourism flight. We have a great segment of the 2001 inductees into the Video Game Hall of Fame. I'm just going in the first hour, second hour, and then I get right to that.
This is new.
I know. This is on the script. All right.
Okay.
So we have Mike's Mesmerizing Moment brought to us by StoriCoffee. And then we have our
great coffee,
which is great. And did you get your reorder? I got my reorder yesterday.
I haven't got my reorder.
I got my reorder, so I was really excited to do reorder. And what's really we're excited is they decided to bump up another 6-month sponsorship, so it's a lot more coffee for us to drink. Isn't that fantastic? So good job, StoriCoffee. We're excited to be a part of that. We have an NFT and our whiskey in the first hour. On our second hour, we have our segment Back Letters, which seems to be pretty excited. I can't wait to read some of these letters. And letters are spam.
This is all the spam.
All the spam email I get just in the week itself. So it's just this week's newest spam and some of the phishing attempts and some of the ideas to try to steal identity from people. We'll be reading those. We also have, in the second hour, cyber security insurance for the homeowner. We got Dan Whedon coming on talking about it. So cybersecurity insurance has been in small businesses pretty aggressively for the last 3 to 4 years. But in the second hour, we're going to be talking about specifically what needs to be done if your home has an issue or if you have an issue with your personal PC with a cyber attack. What can you do on that? So we've been talking about that. And then we have an expose of Elon Musk, since he's going to be talking on Saturday Night Live.
Since he's going to be on Saturday Night Live, we're going to talk
about him. So we're going to talk so that you have some great information
talk.
that I'm sure you're probably not going to hear about on there. But before we start each of our shows, we always like to start out with our question of the day for Mike. So our loaded question: what would be a terrible ring for your cell phone? So like a ringtone. What would be the worst ringtone? I got mine. I already know exactly what it is.
I used to have Down with the Sickness.
Down with the Sickness?
Down with the Sickness is my ringtone.
Okay.
That is one of the funniest things to watch people react to in a meeting.
In a meeting, they all look at you and say, what's going on, or what would happen?
You get some of the strangest... You know what Down with the Sickness
I have heard it, yes.
So it starts off with this kind of monkey sound and then this screaming. And
yep.
People look at you really funny.
See, the only thing I can think of worse than that is Who Let the Dogs Out.
Who Let the Dog?
Oh, man.
I have this really creepy baby one.
Oh, did you?
That laughs when I get a message notification. It's really creepy.
Like something like that.
It's like a little baby. It's. So I this is a good question.
That's a good question
because I have actually done these on purpose to see what I get, what kind of reactions.
See, my wife has bad to the bone when I call.
That's all. That's funny.
So sometimes I will just call it just so I can listen to it, because that was a pretty good tune until you actually listen to what the lyrics is. And what was the other? I was listening to this other song. I'll have to figure it out. It was like a 1950s or 60s song. Leader of the Pack. Have you ever heard that song?
Yeah.
Leader of the Pack. Essentially, that guy commits suicide. He essentially, his girlfriend dumps him.
It's just best never to listen to the lyrics. You
just listen to the music?
Yeah, you just listen to the music. Because when you listen to the lyrics, you realize you have no idea what's
going on. All right. Well, if you want to engage with us, especially the second hour, first hour is the packed show. Second hour, you can always reach out at 425-373-5527 or at 188-298-KKNW. That's 188-298-5569, and David will put you on the show. We got a lot of subjects that we're going to be talking about, so don't call yet. But if there's something that you get in the top 5 stories that you have an interest in or something else, then we will put you on the air and get a chance to talk with you. All right. With that, we are going to move on to our first segment.
What's happening in the world of technology? This is our top stories in the first 5 minutes.
All right. 5 minutes on the clock, David. Here we go. Story number 1. Kroger begins testing home grocery delivery drones. And we have some audio to play with this.
Kroger is announcing a new program to make deliveries with drones. Smith's parent company teaming up with Drone Express for a pilot program starting this spring in the Midwest. The drones can only carry up to 5 pounds, so Kroger's going to start out with a bundled product offering. For example, shoppers can choose a baby care bundle, which includes wipes and formula. The drones can deliver to customers wherever they are at any time by tracking smartphone locations.
Now, wouldn't this be awesome?
See,
a barbecue.
The first thing that came into my head when I said I need to get a whole bunch of jars of pickles and see what happens.
Jars of pickles if they accidentally drop them as they're coming in. No, wouldn't it be better? So this is only happening in Cincinnati, and it's essentially a 15-minute area in Cincinnati, a 15-minute scope. So it's going to be very limited.
It's going to be less than a quarter of a mile from the store.
Correct. And so they're going to be doing that.
They better be near a nursery.
Cincinnati and Dayton. The flights will be managed by licensed pilots, though, with Kroger's partner Drone Express. So Drone Express has 15 dedicated pilots to drive these drones around. The best would be a barbecue.
This is a temporary part-time job.
It's got to be. They got to be doing something else on the side. Right?
I don't think this is going to last.
Because the delivery fee, they estimate anywhere between $15 to $20. So you're going to order some baby formula and some wipes.
Yeah, baby formula is super expensive. So
it's going to be like a $150 deal to have it drop it at
5 pounds and see a freaking drone come along. And
the best, though, would be a barbecue. I still say. I'm out in the middle, grilling in the middle of a field, and all of a sudden I need some barbecue sauce or some ketchup.
That would be fun.
And it comes pickles, and it comes, drops it right over there, drops the package, and heads out. That would be a cool 4th of July event.
That would be a cool video to put on YouTube.
That would be.
But I don't really see this as being something that is going to.
I don't know about that. I don't think this is a game changer yet either. No. All right. Story number 2, direct from CNBC. Facebook and Signal are fighting over an ad campaign. So
no way.
This is very interesting because both sides are pointing fingers at each other very aggressively. Facebook says Signal has no idea what they're talking about. And Signal says, we used your own algorithm, Facebook, to essentially get this information, and you're just upset because anybody can get this, and we figured it out.
So here we go. What happened?
Facebook, the world's largest social media platform, found itself in a public dispute with the communications app Signal this week over an ad run. The encrypted messaging service, a nonprofit that rivals Facebook's own WhatsApp, said in a blog on Tuesday that Facebook had blocked one of its ad campaigns on Instagram, which is owned by Facebook. The campaign was designed to show Instagram users the amount of data that Instagram and parent firm Facebook collects on users. We created a multi-virant targeted ad designed to show you personal data that Facebook collects about how you sell and access information, Signal wrote. The ad would simply display some of the most information important collected about each viewer and advertise the platform to them. Signal used Instagram's own ad tech tools, which is essentially a plug-in so you can grab information to use that to advertise on Instagram, and essentially came up with slogans and informations that could track all the way down to people in Moscow, across the United States. And essentially their first ad campaign that got blocked said, you got this ad because you're a teacher. But more importantly, you're a Leo and Signal. This ad used your location to see you in Moscow. You like supporting sketch comedy, and the ad thinks you do drag on the side.
Wow.
So they had all of that information specifically targeting that individual, that they were going to send it specifically on Instagram to this person so that person would know what was happening.
So Signal, which is its own little platform.
Yep, it's nonprofit.
We've talked about it before. It's
very good encryption.
It's an encrypted messaging service.
Yep.
Went on to Facebook's Instagram.
Yep.
Advertised to people on them about how Facebook is stealing their information by using that information to target the ad to those people.
Correct. So essentially, it's like Mike. So if I wanted to do an ad to Mike, to you, and I had all the information about Mike, and I put that in an ad specifically that I wanted to send to you, Facebook said that they were not allowed to do that. Now, Signal says that essentially all of their ads were shut down. Facebook says this is a step by Signal. We never tried to actually run the ads or the account, and all of it was fake. And a spokesman came on out from Facebook and said that Signal is trying to make them look bad and that all of this is fake publicity.
Wah.
Signal then countered on Twitter and said that they absolutely did try to run the ads and posted pictures, thanks, David, of what was going on. So who do you believe? Do you believe Signal?
I don't believe any
or
of them.
Facebook?
No, don't believe any of them.
Don't believe any of them?
Just let them weigh it out.
All right, okay. Our last subject we're going to get to here just real quick. Amazon, Jeff Bezos, is deciding to auction off a seat on the very first space tourism flight that Blue Origin is doing. Now, Blue Origin...
Do you think he's trying to get ahead of Elon there?
So I think so, but Elon's actually been testing this.
Well, yeah.
So this is like Blue...
This first successful SpaceX rocket to reland.
So Blue Origin, this is the maiden voyage. How much do you really want to be paying that ticket to be the guest on the maiden voyage?
No refunds.
You know what?
No credits either.
All right, so here's what you can do. From May 5th to the 19th, you can seal a bid and send it on their website. So if you go to a Blue Origin's website, you can make a secret sealed round, and then they will open them up, and on June 12th, they will conclude the contest and let people bid.
Yeah.
All of the donation goes for Club of the Future, a youth-focused foundation owned by Blue Origin.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not clear exactly what the ticket will fetch, but if you have billions of dollars, and
I'm gonna go home right now and do that.
And you want to be on the experimental flight.
That's right.
Best of luck to you.
Yeah. I really doubt I will make that cut.
You know what? I don't know if I would really be buying a ticket on Blue Origin yet. Maybe if it was SpaceX and I've seen that.
Well, let's just wait until these guys get these things working properly, and then we can take a chance. Then I'll buy a ticket. All
right, Mike. Well, that is our time. Now, if you would like to make sure that these stories are legitimate, because we just can't make these stories up, which they aren't, you can go to techtimeradio.com and click on the episode section. So our website got updated. It looks beautiful. You can also sign up for our newsletter on the website. Everything that you need is at techtimeradio.com. So we're going to be coming on back, and we're going to be talking about the Video Game Hall of Fame 2021 inductees. And we have a special presentation from the Strong Museum that we're going to be watching and listening to. So that should be pretty exciting about some of these. We also will be sipping our whiskey, and we are going to take our first commercial break at this time. I am Nathan Mumm. We got Mike Day, David Brown. Welcome to Tech Time Radio.
Did you know that up to 12 to 15% of Americans grind their teeth at night while they sleep? Yeah, it's called bruxism. I used to work at a sleep lab, and we used to measure that, and it leads to a lot of problems like headaches and destroys your teeth. It wears down the enamel. And it's just very hard on your mouth.
So every once in a while I'll wake up, my jaw will hurt. Do you think I'm grinding my teeth at night?
Yep.
Well, so how do you go about protecting this then?
The number one recommended way of protecting yourself from teeth grinding is what's called a night guard, which is a custom fitted prosthetic that you put inside your mouth. It usually runs, hundreds of dollars, but I know our sponsor, Smile Brilliant, can get you custom fitted night guards for as little as $45 a piece.
So if you go to smilebrilliant.com and use TechTime Radio at checkout, you can receive 20% off your complete order. So visit smilebrilliant.com and use the TechTime Radio at checkout code. Hey, Mike.
Yeah, what's going on?
Have you heard about 180 Consulting?
No.
I love these guys. You know how much I avoid working with copy vendors, right?
Actually, I get to hear about it all the time.
Not anymore, because guess what? The guys at 180 Consulting took over the entire process. They assessed our needs, worked directly with the vendors on my behalf, and helped us understand our option. No sales fluff, just good information so we can make the right decision.
Well, that sounds good. How do they get paid?
Their only compensation comes from a small share of the cost savings they create. They work for us, and it's a win-win.
That sounds like a no-brainer.
There's two ways to reach them. You can get them at info@180-consulting.com or visit them online at www.180-consulting.com.
www.180-consulting.com.
Thank you, Mike. 180-consulting.com.
Hi, I'm Bernadette Pager, host of An Informed Life Radio. In an age when the term misinformation is used to silence criticism and debate about COVID-19, vaccines, and more, we're bringing you doctors, lawyers, and scientists to discuss the missing information about your health and medical freedom. And Informed Life Radio airs right here on KKNW every Friday from 3 to 5 p.m. We're starting a real health revolution, one conversation at a time. Join us.
We would like to thank Podcorn for sponsoring this episode of Tech Time Radio. Explore sponsorship opportunities and start monetizing your podcast by signing up at podcorn.com/podcasters. Let me tell you about Podcorn. Podcorn is an absolute must for any podcaster starting out. Now, when we started out Tech Time Radio, we started out in a back office with a couple of mics. We expanded to a studio, and then now, as you can see, we're on the radio and have distribution into other markets. Having the ability to have Podcorn at the start of our podcast would have been a dream come true. Guess what? With Podcorn, you now have the amazing opportunity for podcasts to receive sponsorship, such as host reads, interview segments, and topical discussions. With Podcorn, there's no middleman. Podcasters of all sizes can browse and choose opportunities right on their platform, set their own rates, and collaborate with brands directly without exclusivities. You never give up the rights of your podcast in Podcorn, and they're here to support you everywhere possible. Visit podcorn.com. Again, that's podcorn.com. Podcorn is a true success for those starting their podcast dreams.
Welcome back to Tech Time Radio. We just had our first whiskey tasting, and man, Mike, during the break, this was something. This is the US 1 Sour Mash, $48, 86 proof. It was the whiskey of the year in 2019.
Yeah, this is the kind of stuff you see in a cowboy movie where the guy comes in, he's like, whiskey, and he throws it back. He's like,
yeah, this had a bite. I have not had a whiskey with a bite like this in quite a long time.
Big bite.
But
good taste.
Very smooth taste after that, right? So it's a really impactful punch. And now I have no burning. It's nice and smooth.
It's that quick.
It's kind of I kind of like it. It's
whiskey.
It's a little different. It's not
whiskey.
It's not your regular rye that I bring in. So you like that?
Yeah, it's good.
We have to make a call out to our
Sour Mash.
To our Mark Gregoire that said that I keep on sending you bad whiskey, and he said that you need
give me some good. Give me some good stuff.
So Mark, thank you very much for that. All right, well, welcome back. Now, as we got the drinks out of the way, we stumbled on a story that we had no idea about on our production show that we thought was fantastic. And actually, Mike, were you the one that brought this to the table, or was that Jin Lee that brought it to the table?
Which story
this is the World Video Game Hall of Fame.
That was Jin Lee.
Jin. So Jin found this.
Yeah, we didn't even know there was a World Video Game.
So this is the World Video Game Hall of Fame, which is at the Strong Museum. It is recognized as established in 2015. It is individual electronic games of all types, arcade, console, computer, handheld, and mobile. They enjoy the popularity over a sustained period of time, and essentially it's in Rochester, New York. They announced on May 6, 2022, the new 2021 inductees. And so there was a great big list of like 25 so just like an award show that were nominated for that last year. And essentially they just announced them this Friday who actually got taken care of it. So the Strong Museum is the only collection-based museum in the world devoted solely to play and holds the world's largest and most comprehensive collection of dolls, toys, games, electronic games, and other artifacts of play. Nice. The Strong explores the ways in which play encourages learning, creativity, discovery, and illuminates the cultural history of video games. All right, without further ado, we are going to listen to the 2021 inductee presentation from the World Video Game Hall of Fame.
The World Video Game Hall of Fame celebrates not just the best games of all time, but those that are the most influential.
These are games that really transcended how we play, how we learn, how we relate to one another.
The World Video Game Hall of Fame is our way of honoring those games that have made history.
Since the 1970s, video games have had a big impact on people.
These are the games that really belong on the Mount Rushmore of video gaming.
Here at The Strong, we not only preserve the actual games themselves, but game consoles, game formats, arcade games, and also design documents from the people who created the games that we love.
Every game that makes it into the World Video Game Hall of Fame must meet 4 criteria: icon status, influence, longevity, and geographical reach.
Is it recognizable? Do we remember it? Think the Waka Waka sound of Pac-Man or the mustachioed Mario figure.
Games which have impacted the video game industry, popular culture, and society.
With longevity, these are the games that have gone beyond just a single console generation or computer generation. These are the games that keep coming back again and again and continue to be enjoyed by people all over the world.
Video games are a global phenomenon, so therefore it's important to recognize those games that transcend boundaries, that cross borders. And geographical reach is the criterion that really signals, hey, this game is more important than in just one local area.
So when a game is inducted based on those criteria, it's really entering into a group of other games that are the most important games of all time.
This is it. Here we go. It's time to find out what games are going to be inducted into the World Video Game Hall of Fame class of 2021.
Our first inductee to the World Video Game Hall of Fame is a franchise that brings people together all over the world. Last year, the latest game broke digital sales records. Adults and kids love this game. And no matter where you go, you'll find a friend or a new neighborhood. How many games can you say are beloved by Frodo Baggins, Captain America, and Guy Fieri? The first inductee is Animal Crossing.
The latest installment to the series, 2020's Animal Crossing: New Horizons for Nintendo Switch, broke the console game record for most digital units sold in a single month, selling more than 31 million copies worldwide, as its virtual version of neighborly sociability engaged players isolated in the midst of a global pandemic.
This next inductee reminds us that people have always been fascinated by the idea of traveling through the clouds, high above the earth. Most of us are never going to get the opportunity to get in a cockpit and take control of a real, live aircraft. But this game got you and me just a little bit closer to that dream. Our next inductee into the World Video Game Hall of Fame is Microsoft Flight Simulator.
In 2020, Microsoft released a spectacular updated version of the game, that used real-life images to give flyers the experience of soaring over their hometowns or visiting exotic locale, proving once again that the joy of flight is universal.
We are excited to have Jörg Newman talking about the new Microsoft Flight Simulator 2020.
Hi, my name is Jörg Neumann. I'm the head of Microsoft Flight Simulator. The history of consumer flight simulation goes back all the way to 1977, when Bruce Artwick founded his company Sublogic and ultimately released Flight Simulator on the Apple II in 1979. This later evolved into Microsoft Flight Simulator 1.0, which was released in 1982. Since the very beginning, the series stood for realism, accuracy, and the authenticity of flying. In the 40 years since the first release, the series has undergone amazing innovations in graphics, the complexity of the flight model, and the authenticity of the world itself. We are often humbled and inspired when talking to many real-world pilots who tell us that Microsoft Flight Simulator was the reason they fell in love with aviation in the first place. As a team, we hope to inspire future generation of aviators around the world. On behalf of all who have ever worked on this enduring franchise, we would like to thank for inducting Microsoft Flight Simulator into the World Video Game Hall of Fame. It's an amazing honor. Thank you.
The next game inducted into the World Video Game Hall of Fame is one that was celebrated for its single-player campaign, as it added new layers of complexity to the real-time strategy genre. But with its multiplayer mode, it was revolutionary, giving rise to the multi-billion-dollar esports industry that we see today. For me, I spent way too many late nights up with friends, yelling across the room saying, "No Zerg rushes this time," while we all planned our own Zerg rush. The next game inducted into the World Video Game Hall of Fame class of 2021 is StarCraft.
By 2009, StarCraft, along with its expansion Brood War, had sold more than 11 million copies. StarCraft Remastered was released in August 2017, which added enhanced graphics but kept the gameplay mostly intact, introducing a new generation of players to the iconic game.
And now in a unique interview from Alan Adham, co-founder of Blizzard Entertainment.
Hi, I'm Alan Adham, co-founder and senior vice president of product development at Blizzard Entertainment, and over 20 years ago, executive producer of StarCraft. When we released StarCraft in 1998, none of us could have predicted the overwhelming response from gamers around the world. For more than 2 decades now, players have competed head-to-head, multiplayer, or solo in the single-player campaign. In fact, StarCraft became so popular, it helped usher in the modern era of esports. But most importantly, StarCraft grew a community of passionate gamers with lifelong friendships all around the world. To our players, we thank you. StarCraft isn't just a real-time strategy game to us, though. It's a science fiction universe rich with stories and filled with unlimited possibilities. On behalf of everyone at Blizzard Entertainment, I'd like to thank The Strong for inducting StarCraft into the World Video Game Hall of Fame.
Do you like travel? Do you like solving mysteries? Do you like using your knowledge of world history and geography for good? Do you like learning things? That's actually the biggest secret about our final inductee. It's actually edutainment, covertly combining learning with gameplay. First released on 5.25-inch floppy disks for graphic-enabled home computers, this game exposed audiences to celebrated world landmarks, exotic countries, and of course, punny henchmen. Working their way up the ranks as agents of the Acme Detective Agency, players capture crooks employed by Vile, an international group of villains led by a certain lady in red. The somewhat surprising success of this game spawned an entire series of geography-based titles by Broderbund, and among other things, a popular, award-winning children's television game show with a mighty memorable theme song. Can you crack the case, Gumshoe? Sneaking around the world from Rwanda to Rochester is our final inductee into the World Video Game Hall of Fame. It's Where in the World is Carmen Sandiego?
Gumshoes first began pursuing this particular master thief in the 1985 release of Broderbund's Where in the World is Carmen Sandiego? an educational game that made learning geography fun for millions of students. Carmen's mythos grew along with the franchise, gaining her iconic red trench coat and fedora along the way. Children of the 1990s could also watch this game spring to life on the award-winning television game show Where in the World is Carmen Sandiego? Between the still-growing video game franchise, including a Google Earth tie-in, and Netflix's popular Carmen Sandiego animated series that launched in 2019, Carmen is as recognizable as ever.
So there you are, the class of 2021 in the World Video Game Hall of Fame. Animal Crossing, Where in the World is Carmen Sandiego, StarCraft, and Microsoft Flight Simulator. It's a great class. Thank you so much, and keep on playing.
All right, so that was
long
inductees. Yeah, so we tried something new.
Yeah,
right. So hopefully that was informative, so you can learn a little bit about the game. So let's talk about this. Animal Crossing. Have you played Animal Crossing?
Yeah, I haven't on the Switch, but on the old GameCube and the what was the one that came after the GameCube?
GameCube.
I can't remember.
GameCube, Switch. The Wii.
The Wii.
The Wii.
Yeah.
So my kids got that, right? So they had a big time when they were growing up. They loved playing the original.
That was a
Animal.
really great game.
So you had your animal, you had your little. I did not ever get to play it. So explain a little bit about it to me, so I can understand.
Well, you're essentially moving into this little town that's populated by these animals.
Okay.
And you collect things. You go around and collect different items and interact with the townspeople, and the townspeople will move out and move back. So you'll have people that you meet.
Okay.
That
are these actual players? Players?
They're NPCs.
Okay, NPCs.
And they'll
which are non-player computers.
Characters. Yeah. So you'll interact with them and learn their name, and they'll give you tasks to do, and then they'll move out, and somebody will move back in, and then you have the players where you would go to different areas and interact with other players and stuff. So
now, are you an animal or are you a person?
You're a human.
Taking care of animals?
No.
So Animal Crossing has nothing to do with animals?
Animal Crossing is the NPCs. They're all animals.
Oh, okay.
I'm not a cat.
There you go, Dan. All right. So let's talk about the second
You're not
one.
a cat.
Microsoft Flight Simulator. Played that many a times.
Oh, we used to.
I'm bad because
play that all the time.
So when you played it, did you actually play it to drive the plane around, or did you play it
to crash?
Yeah, so did I. So and however you can crash it,
the most spectacular crash wins.
That's right. So you get on up and you try to see if you can clip your wing a little bit, and then you continue to roll and you come on down. Yeah, and
that's what we did.
We had 9/11 coming, and that was like we
Well, this
changed
was back in
everything.
the 80s, dude.
Yes.
This was way back then. 1984, I think, is when we would all go to this guy's house. His dad was a pilot.
Yeah.
And he had it, and we would all go to his house, and we would.
He had the flight sticks and everything.
Yeah, everything. We would all jockey, and there were some other games that we played that we won't mention on the air. But.
Okay. So that was a great game. Have you seen the new 2020?
No, I haven't.
Oh man, unbelievable graphics. I mean, literally they have people moving, cars moving. It is unbelievable.
Cool.
They're trying to upgrade it so that you could have some real time Google Map stuff, so you could actually see exactly what's going on.
That's some serious memory.
StarCraft. So I played StarCraft. StarCraft was before Age of Empires. So that was
it?
Well,
no,
I played it before Age of Empires 2. Maybe Age of Empires.
Age of Empires came out first because StarCraft was kind of built on that sort of engine.
And then there's been so many different Age of Empire 2 games or Star Wars games taking care of it. So StarCraft absolutely should be a part of that. And Where in the World is Carmen Sandiego? I played that all the time too.
I never played that one.
That was
we
actually
watched
really
the show because my kids. But.
Okay, I actually played it on the computer. It was like a Apple II. Yeah. They had it at the school, and so it was one of our great things. So congratulations to all of the inductees into the 2021 World Video Game Hall of Fame. Up next, we have a segment on what I found on the web, and we're going to be talking about an interesting article that both Mike and I think we should talk about. It's called Pim Eyes, right? So we've actually done this, and so it's a free facial recognition software for anyone that uses the web. If you want to be a creepy stalker, then you can go to pimeyes.com. It lets users see a limited number of small pixelated pictures of an uploaded area. So we are going to be taking a commercial break, and when we come on back, let's take a look at Pim Eyes.
Warning, this podcast is inappropriate, dumb, and should not be listened to. Oral discretion is advised. Fat Tango presents a monthly scripted comedy show. Each episode is a self-contained short story that showcases the sick, twisted senses of humor of its creators. Episodes range from podcast parodies to supernatural encounters and cartoonish ridiculousness.
I do this in the name of science!
Jeff, which kid took the gummy bears?
Can you name a famous trombone player?
How do you know my name? I'm Santa. That was the best I've ever seen!
Thanks, bro.
Every episode is a different story with different people, played by different actors. Sometimes.
I know I've told you this before, but I don't like you.
Is this because we want to get a dog?
Pow!
We got a dog!
Wham!
Let's get a dog!
Toledo! You're disrespecting painting, you Can you believe he said that?
No, man. Can't change my mind on this. I wish for a bigger
Boy, if I was listening to this on some other podcast that was running a trailer for it, I would sure go listen to it. You know what? Split-second decision, all of it's real. Yes, I would murder Santa Claus. Check us out wherever you listen to podcasts.
New episodes released first Monday of every month. Fat Tango is also launching its podcast network this month, so go check it out on their website at fattangoproductions.com and follow them on social media at Fat Tango Podcast on Twitter and at Fat Tango Productions on Instagram. Look forward to seeing you there. Hey, Mike.
Yeah, what's going on?
Hey, we got a new sponsor here, and they're called The Art of Manliness.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, have you heard of them?
I've heard of these folks. Yeah, I've been on their website several times.
You've been on their website?
Yeah, they talk about everything, man. You know, like how to wear a sports coat with jeans, or how to give yourself a buzz cut, or style tips for men.
Really? Well, guess what? I have not heard of them until now, and now I'm excited because you know what?
You're not a man.
Well, I am a man.
You're not a manly man.
All right, so this is really the show for manly men. Are you sick and tired of wading through 2 hours of fluff in order to get a few good takeaways? Have you listened to podcasts that make you just go, Tune into the Art of Manliness podcast, where you can glean and distill the very best insights from the world's experts in self-improvement, philosophy, and practical skills, history, and a lot more. And do it all under an hour. Without all of the eye-rolling filler, you can walk away from every episode Art of Manliness podcast with actionable insights you can start implementing today to improve your life. You can listen to them on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or any of your other podcast players.
All right. Welcome back to TechTime Radio. How's the whiskey tasting, Mike?
Good.
Good?
Good.
Is it taste all okay?
It's good. I'm already buzzing, though.
Oh, you're a little buzzing?
It's a little strong.
I'm not buzzing at all, but it is a very bitter first hit, and then after that, it does taste really well.
Yeah.
All right.
I won't tell you, but I
What's
like
that?
it.
You like it?
Yeah.
You like it? You're not going to tell us if it's a thumbs up. I may have to just do a thumbs down so we can't both have a thumbs up because
I don't think that's how it works.
Oh, you should just use it. Okay, let's talk about what we got coming up next. So, people probably haven't heard of this. If you go to EYES.com, again, that's Pim Eyes. There's a brand new mysterious facial recognition search engine that essentially is on the web.
Yeah.
Now, we got a lot of info on this because this is a unique idea, and
I don't think it's unique.
I tried to do some full research on the site, so just finding out who this company is probably more of a mystery than even how their software works itself. So essentially, you upload a picture to Pim Eyes, right? The website. So you just you're supposed to upload only yours, is how they say it. They don't want you uploading other people, even though we did that, right? So we did that as a part of our test.
Yep.
I uploaded my picture, and what did it do? It got about 10,
it got a bunch of pictures from the radio show promotion.
From the radio show promotion, and then it had some pictures of some.
We're going to talk about that.
People that were not even taken care of, and then we uploaded your picture.
And what happened?
And we're going to talk about that too. What happened?
None.
Zero pictures.
Zero pictures of me.
Found you. And
Found
they
me.
and they came up with a bunch of other people.
They came up with
African American.
Americans, yeah.
Most of the pictures from your profile face, well, maybe you're just a little bit more tan than I am.
I don't.
But it came on up. So I don't know how valid this site is.
I'm going to say not very.
But what they're doing is every single time you upload a picture, guess what? They now have that as a part of a database. So they have more and more
they're
pictures
capturing.
that they have. So PimEyes is open to everyone who has internet access. It's a stark contrast from Clearview AI, which we talked about previously, as an open source code. It's building an enormous stash of faces with images of people from social media networks and limits its use to law enforcement. So they said essentially that they're working with law enforcement on this.
Yeah, this is where it becomes a problem.
But when you actually take a look at which law enforcement people have it, they will not release any information of people that are using it. So either they are actually using it or maybe they're not using it.
Who knows? This is still a problem.
So PimEyes' decision to make facial recognition software available to the general public, a line of technology, is unwilling to traverse and change their area. They've been asked to take it down number of times.
By
again, PIMEYES.com. But essentially, their website instructs people that have a complaint to essentially submit feedback through their form and email.
Yes, like the old complaint box.
Now, using the latest technology of artificial intelligence, this is not really pulling the correct picture, but it's actually what we think is kind of a creepy stalking tool, right? Because so we could put up anybody's picture up there, and essentially you can find them. And one of the things that PimEyes does is it actually searches over all social medias, including porn sites, including other sites.
Yeah, but here, what's the problem? We submitted my photo. None of the pictures that came up was me.
Correct. Maybe we had to upgrade to the feature of the business class at $29.99 for extensive searches, where I can go up to 500 searches for that price, and then I can even create alerts.
Still using the same engine.
It is.
But see, so you're going to pay money, and what's your end goal here? So this software is looking for facial points or data points on faces.
Correct.
And like we found out when we put my picture up there, it came up with completely different pictures of that. Now, granted, they were bald guys with goatees, and that's what we got. Those are the data points that apparently were its major search feature. But none of the other. I have pictures all over the internet, and none of my other pictures came up. So there's something faulty with that system.
So PimEyes in the last week had 1.6 million people decide to upload pictures to them. So you know what they're doing is they're collecting a database of pictures by promoting a service that who knows if it's really legitimate or not. So let's take a look. This company is shrouded in secrecy. So PimEyes, we did everything we could to find out a little thing about them. So there's this website called the Wayback Machine. Have you ever used the Wayback Machine?
No.
So if you ever Google thewaybackmachine.com, it essentially takes screen image shots of websites every 2 or 3 months. So if a website has changed over the last 8 to 10 years, you can actually go back and take a look at original web page shot. Normally only the front page, but what the page looked at itself. So what we found when we did the Wayback Machine on this is we found back in 2017 that essentially this domain was registered for PimEyes in Wrocław, Poland.
Wrocław or Warsaw?
WORCLAW. So I think it's Wrocław, right?
Okay.
Hopefully I didn't do a cut and paste wrong. So
yeah, you might have got it.
So I did a cut and paste. All right. So in 2020, they changed their website's privacy information, changed their site, and essentially went to the non-disclosure information on websites. So when you register a website, you have the opportunity to have your name there, or most websites you can pay an additional like $9 a year and you can have your name removed. So they have had their name removed. When we tried to communicate with them, essentially I got feedback specifically at 2 o'clock and 3 o'clock in the afternoon Pacific Standard Time, which if you take a look at clocks...
Was it just an automatic reply?
No, it was actually somebody that responded because I asked a little bit more information on why they were doing this, what it's for, and they said specifically it's for the consumer to make sure that they're not being targeted with pictures on social media sites that you have not given access to.
Sure.
So that's what they said to take care of. And That's
the cover story.
That timeline is essentially 8:30 Poland time. So that would make sense that someone would respond to it about the time that it has there. Now, they've had celebrity searches that have gone on with this that has essentially taken Angelina Jolie, Rihanna, Donald Trump, and other people that have essentially uploaded pictures and specifically used this for marketing campaigns to use pictures of likenesses for other individuals. So they've been kind of on the shady side to begin with. AI-driven images matching, there's freeware software that's available. They say that they have their own proprietary software, which it looks like it kind of is because it's not as good as the freeware. So what do we think about AI? So this is what we talked about in our production meeting itself. Should we be having the access for people to submit photos of anybody to a website?
It's not about should we, it's about why.
Why would we be doing that?
Why would we need to do that? The problem here is obviously the problem that we came up with, right? We submitted a picture and it came back with the wrong photos.
Correct.
And that's one of the problems that we've talked about on the show before with these AI scanning devices that actually put people in jail erroneously.
Correct.
And it's because there's a complex problem here. We have our doppelgangers. Did you know what a doppelganger is?
Yeah, so the person that looks like you. So
right,
mine's Brad Pitt. So that's what happens. People.
I get calls about that all the time. Okay, keep dreaming, buddy.
All right.
But we all have people that have similar genetic features from us, and that's what the AI is picking on. So it's picking these similarities out. Like I said, when we did my picture, the funny thing is that it came up with bald guys with goatees, but some of them were black and some of them were Hispanic.
Yes.
And some of them were white.
Yes.
But they weren't me.
They were not you.
But if somebody who's using the system may think that those are me.
And when I did one of the pictures from the production of TechTime Radio. So I didn't use a personal picture, but I used a
promotional picture.
And that promotional picture, all of those promotional pictures came up, and then all of a sudden it started going to people in Russia. And so what was unique about it is that it did come up pixelated, so they're trying to say that they're not trying to show the full picture of it. But right underneath there, it had the website, right? So I could essentially go to the website and find that picture of the person itself.
So it's a little scary. I mean, it's a little off-putting.
So it is. So very interesting site. PIMEYES, so PIM eyes.
Yeah, there you
EYES.
go. EYES.
If you want to take a look at it, I don't know if I would be too aggressive to put a picture out there of something that you don't already have on a social media site that you're okay with people seeing, but it was a very interesting concept. Not like Google, because Google has the ability where you can search for a reverse lookup for pictures. But this specifically targets individuals to find out more pictures about them. They said it's going to help revolutionize the world because you'll now know where your pictures are taken care of.
Those are called weasel words.
Yeah, we didn't like that at all. All right, well, we're going to go take a commercial break, and when we come on back, we have Mike's mesmerizing moment. We got a few closing items, and we will see you right after this commercial break. Hey, Mike.
Yeah, what's going on?
Hey, have you heard of work patterns?
You mean like how my virtual work pattern doesn't involve pants?
No, our listeners don't want to hear about those work patterns. Work Patterns is a people management app I signed up for recently, and my team is loving it. Everyone who manages people knows that being a great manager has never been harder. Work Patterns arms managers with tools they need to be effective leaders, no matter where people are physically located.
Nice. Will it help me actually feel prepared for the tons of one-on-one and team meetings I have every week?
Yep. Work Patterns is designed to make team management easier, enabling continuous one-on-one feedback, collaborative meetings, goal tracking, and workflow management all in one place. My team has also been publicly sharing wins in apps like Slack and Team using Work Patterns' Kudos feature. Celebrating wins of all sizes has been great for morale. Honestly, whether you're a manager struggling to stay on top of things or a CEO whose organization has outgrown his system, Work Patterns will help reduce the chaos of your workday.
Hey, that's great. Time is valuable, and I want to make sure my team is having productive meetings.
Exactly, Mike. You should sign up. They're offering a free trial.
Wow. I'm going to sign up right now. Where do I go to do that?
It's at workpatterns.com. Check out workpatterns.com using the link in our show notes and get the people management app loved by thousands of highly performing teams. Hey, Mike.
Yeah, what's up?
Hey, have you ever heard of Ghost Town?
No, but I used to live near one. It was pretty creepy.
Ghost Town is hosted and produced by comedians Jason Horton and Rebecca Leib. It's a podcast that explores mysterious, haunted, and esoteric places. Ghost Town has been number 2 on the Apple Podcast comedy charts, top 15 on the Apple Podcast top charts, and a featured podcast on Apple Podcasts Scary Stories.
Oh, yeah. Ghost Town is a favorite on CastBox's Editor's Picks and the AV Club, with mentions by KPCC, LAist, Los Angelino, Bustle, Indie Source, and Inside Podcasting. The AV Club said that paranormal enthusiasts looking for podcast editions should look no further than Ghost Town.
Explore some of the most mysterious and interesting places on Earth with Ghost Town. Take a trip to haunted hotels, abandoned malls, deserted amusement parks. Ghost Town is on the top 200 history podcasts on Apple Podcast. Find out more about Ghost Town at ghosttownpod.com, or you can listen to them on any of the standard podcast services.
Okay.
Welcome back to Tech Time Radio. I'm your host, Nathan Mumm. Mike, during the break, we had a little bit more of that whiskey. What do you think of that?
It's good stuff, man.
It's got a bite. It's got a bite, though. It does. Now, it's a great time to have that drink. If you would like to sign up for StoriCoffee, go to techtimeradio.com, and you can click on the sponsors and order your bag of StoriCoffee today. The first bag of coffee is free and on us. All you got to do is type in the word Tech Time, and they'll send you a free bag.
Yes, get some of that coffee. It's delicious.
It's the best. It's the best. And so for the people that are listening to and drink Starbucks, they have to try it again because, man, this is
it's not burnt at all.
All right, let's go to our highlighted segment of the day, Mike's Mesmerizing Moment.
This is Mike's Mesmerizing Moment, presented by StoriCoffee. Visit StoriCoffee.com.
Yeah, so this stuff's going to come up again and again with this AI business, with these facial recognition tools and these because the bottom line is that we have humans trying to program a computer to be human.
Yep.
And we can't do that because they don't know what the language is. They don't understand nuance. A computer cannot pick out nuance.
Do you think it'll ever be able to? I mean, we're talking 100 years from now. 100 years.
Maybe when they get the positronic brain working, maybe. I don't know. But the problem is that when we have people programming the systems, the people are programming those systems with their basic knowledge. And
correct.
And if even with a learning piece that goes with the AI, the programmer has to tell it what to learn, right? It has to tell it where it's going to learn.
And programmers, it has been come on out that programmers have biases, right? When you're programming something,
everybody has biases. You have a bias. It doesn't matter what we're talking about. We all have biases, and we can't get rid of them. There's no way of getting rid of them. So somebody's claiming that it's unbiased. It just means that it may not be readily noticeable that it's biased. But we all have biases.
Like Pim Eyes, man, though. So that's a very interesting idea. That's why we tried it, right? I mean, we tried it out because it was like, hey, let's see what these pictures come on up for a search. But after doing a bunch of research, the question is, hopefully I didn't give him anything, which I didn't give him anything that I wouldn't have had already taken care of. So
right.
It's not a big deal.
We're talking about a simple program that's looking for specific data points on a face.
Yep.
And obviously, there's something very wrong with it.
Yep.
And if you're using it to stalk people, which is one of the problems that this poses, is that I can put in somebody else's picture, and it's going to show me what they've been doing on the web. It's also showing me stuff that's not applicable to what I'm looking at.
That's correct. That just does seem to be. That was a great moment there. All right, Mike. So let's talk about our NFT. We get our NFT available, so if you go to techtimeradio.com/store, we have some merchandise that are being made up, but you can always bid on our NFT, and that is a picture. It looks like a picture of a Cisco modem. That looks like the one here in the studio.
It's just the sketch of the modem.
The sketch of the modem. All right, well, NFTs are still going crazy. I every time I look up, someone's selling one for $500,000. And,
well, it's not the girl meme.
No, it's not the girl meme, but this is original artwork.
Oh,
now we are getting in to our pick of the day time. David's got our music going there. He's all David's a high five. He got a high five. He's all over this today. He got done officiating some games. He's like, I'm going to take over the show.
No saluting today.
That's right. U.S. won Sour Mash $48, 86 proof, produced in the state of Kentucky, bourbon, winner of the 2019 Whiskey Exchange. What do you think? You gave it a thumbs up?
Thumbs up, buddy.
Mike gives it a thumbs up. Nathan's going to give it a thumbs up also. What I really worry about is in our second hour, going through all that whiskey. All right, talking about our second hour, we're going to be starting off.
That's why the second hour is funner.
That's right. We'll be talking about letters, the segment reading emails. We got our cybersecurity insurance for small business and homeowners. We're going to be talking with our guest, Dan Whedon, the host of Podcast Elite and the Shrimp Take. We have an expose on Elon Musk, so it's going to be a great second hour. Hopefully see you guys there. I'm Nathan Mumm.
I'm Mike Gorday.
We got David Brown behind the board. Have a great day. See you later.
Bye-bye.
Thanks for joining us on TechTime Radio. We hope that you had a chance to have that moment today in technology. The fun doesn't stop there. We recommend that you go to techtimeradio.com and join our fan list for the most important aspect of staying connected and winning some really great monthly prizes. We also have a few other ways to stay connected, including subscribing to our podcast on any podcast service, from Apple to Google and everything in between. We're also on YouTube, so check us out on youtube.com/techtimeradio, all one word. We hope you enjoyed the show as much as we did making it for you. From all of us at TechTime Radio, remember, Mumm's the word. Have a safe and fantastic week.